Dad, stop. Oh my God. Elena. Isabella's scream shattered the silence. Elena's dress was half unzipped. Victor's hands still tangled in her hair, his mouth on her collarbone. The champagne glass hit the marble floor like a gunshot. Elena couldn't breathe, couldn't move, couldn't do anything except watch her best friend's face twist from shock to comprehension to pure betrayal. Victor stepped in front of Elena, shielding her. Wrong move. Bella, let me explain. How long? Isabella's voice cracked. How long have you been fucking my best friend, Dad? The words hung in the air like poison. Downstairs, the party music thumped on. Nobody knew their world had just detonated. Before we continue, smash that subscribe button and stick with me until the very end of this story. Drop a comment with your city so I can see how far across the globe this reaches. Trust me, you won't believe where this goes. The night everything changed, Elena Reyes wasn't thinking about consequences. She was thinking about how Victor DeLuca's cologne smelled like cedar and danger, how his hand rested on the small of her back as they walked through his Greenwich estate, fingers pressing just hard enough to make her pulse race. How wrong this was, how absolutely devastatingly wrong. Elena, you coming? Isabella called from the dining room, oblivious. Right behind you. Elena's voice came out steadier than she felt. Victor's hand dropped. Cold air replaced his touch. Elena wanted to scream. This had been going on for 6 weeks. 6 weeks of stolen moments, secret texts, lies piled on lies, until Elena couldn't remember what truth felt like anymore. She was 19 years old, drowning in something she couldn't name, and the man pulling her under was her best friend's father. Dinner was torture. So Elena, Carmela Victor's sister, leaned forward with wine-bright eyes. Isabella says you're top of your class. Pre-law, sociology, actually. Fascinating. Carmela's smile didn't reach her eyes. And what does one do with a sociology degree? The condescension was subtle but sharp. Elena had learned to spot it the way wealthy people ask questions they didn't care about performing interest while mentally cataloging all the ways you didn't belong. Change systems that keep people poor. Elena met Carmela's gaze steadily. Dismantle structures that protect men who exploit the vulnerable. The table went quiet. Victor's laugh broke the tension. Careful, Carmela. This one's got teeth. I like her. Nonna Rosa pointed her fork at Elena. She doesn't take your shit. Nonna, Isabella gasped. What? It's true, Guerm. The old woman shrugged. Your father, he needs someone who pushes back. Everyone else, they just say yes, 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 like little puppies. Elena felt Victor's eyes burning into her across the table. She didn't look up. Couldn't. If she did, everyone would see it written across her face. After dinner, Isabella dragged her upstairs. I swear my family is so embarrassing. Isabella flopped onto her king-size bed. Carmela's been extra bitchy since her divorce, and Nonna has zero filter. I like your grandmother. Everyone does. It's annoying. Isabella scrolled through her phone. Oh, Jake texted. We're definitely on for Saturday. Jake, Isabella's boyfriend. Basketball player trust fund jaw that could cut glass. He treated Isabella like a princess and bored her to tears. That's great, Elena said automatically. You're doing it again. Doing what? Being weird. Isabella sat up. You've been off for weeks. What's going on? Elena's heart slammed against her ribs. Nothing. Bullshit. You barely eat, you're spacing out constantly, and you canceled on me 3 times last week. Isabella's eyes narrowed. Is it money? Because you know I can... It's not money. Then what? A knock saved her. Victor stood in the doorway, tie loosened top button undone. Elena's mouth went dry. Bella, your mother called. She wants you to call her back. Isabella groaned. Can't she just text like a normal person? Apparently not. Victor's eyes flicked to Elena, then away. Use the study. Better reception. The second Isabella left, the air changed. Victor stepped inside, closed the door. The click of the lock was obscenely loud. We can't do this here, Elena whispered. Do what? Victor crossed the room, slowly predator stalking prey. I'm just checking on my daughter's friend. Victor, he kissed her against Isabella's dresser, hard and desperate, one hand fisted in her hair. Elena gasped into his mouth, hating how much she wanted this, needed. This would die without this. I hate you, she breathed against his lips. I know. This is sick. I know. We have to stop. We will. His teeth grazed her neck. Tomorrow. You said that yesterday. I lied. Footsteps in the hallway. They sprang apart. Victor was across the room examining a bookshelf by the time Isabella pushed through the door. Mom wants me home next weekend for some charity thing. So boring. Isabella threw herself back on the bed. Elena wanna come, make it less painful. I have a paper due. Come on, it's just Saturday afternoon. You can write Sunday. Bella, she said no. Victor's voice was sharp. Stop pushing. Isabella blinked. Okay, Dad. Chill. An awkward silence fell. Victor cleared his throat. I should let you two talk. Elena drive safe getting home. He left without looking back. Elena felt his absence like a physical wound. That was weird, Isabella said slowly. He's never protective of you before. Elena's pulse thundered. Maybe he's just tired. Maybe. Isabella didn't sound convinced. The text came at 2 a.m. Tribeca. Now, Elena stared at her phone screen in the darkness of her dorm room. Her roommate snored across the room. Outside, sirens wailed. The sensible thing would be to ignore it. Go back to sleep. End this before it consumed her completely. She was dressed and out the door in 5 minutes. The car was waiting. Same driver, same silent ride. The Tribeca penthouse was dark except for one lamp. Victor stood by the floor-to-ceiling window staring out at the city lights. You came. You knew I would. He turned. Even in shadow, Elena could see the tension in his shoulders, the hard set of his jaw. We need to talk. So talk. Carmela knows. The words hit Elena like a punch. What? She cornered me after you left. Said she saw the way I look at you, the way you look at me. Victor poured scotch, drained it. She threatened to tell Isabella. Elena's legs gave out. She sank onto the white leather couch. Oh, God. I handled it. How? Victor's smile was cold. Carmela has secrets too. Expensive ones. I reminded her what happens when family turns on family in our world. You blackmailed your own sister. I protected what's mine. The possessiveness in his voice should have scared her. Instead, it sent heat pooling low in Elena's stomach. I'm not yours. Aren't you? Victor crossed to her, dropped to his knees between her legs. Tell me you don't think about me every second. Tell me you don't lie awake wanting this. Tell me I'm alone in this insanity. Elena's hand shook as she touched his face. You're not alone. They didn't make it to the bedroom. Afterward, tangled on the couch, reality crept back in. This can't last, Elena whispered. You know that, right? I know. Isabella will find out eventually. Probably. And when she does, she'll never forgive either of us. Definitely. Victor's fingers traced lazy circles on her bare shoulder. So what do you want to do? I want to keep being selfish. I want to keep lying. I want to keep pretending we can have this without consequences. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. Victor pulled her closer, then we keep going until it explodes. And when it does, we deal with the fallout. Elena closed her eyes. You make it sound simple. It is simple. Not easy, but simple. Victor's voice was rough. I choose you. Every day I choose you. Even knowing it's wrong, even knowing it'll hurt people, I can't stop. I don't want you to stop. Then we're both damned. They fell asleep as the city woke up around them. The cracks started showing in week 8. Isabella noticed everything. The way Elena jumped when her phone buzzed. The expensive coffee that appeared on her desk, a friend bought it, that tasted exactly like the blend from Victor's penthouse. The marks on Elena's neck that she blamed on her curling iron. You're lying to me, Isabella said one Tuesday over lunch. Elena's fork clattered against her plate. What? About the guy, the older guy you're seeing. Isabella leaned forward. I know there's someone. You disappear 3 times a week. You smell like expensive cologne. You have that look. What look? Like you're falling apart and falling in love at the same time. Isabella's voice softened. I'm your best friend, E. You can tell me anything. Guilt wrapped around Elena's throat like hands. It's complicated. Is he married? No. Dangerous? Yes. No. Then why all the secrecy? Because he's your father. Because I'm betraying you every second. Because this love is built on lies that will destroy us all. He's private, that's all. Isabella studied her face. You're not going to tell me, are you? I can't. Can't or won't. Both. Isabella sat back, hurt flashing across her face. Fine, keep your secrets, but when this blows up in your face, and it will, don't say I didn't warn you. She left Elena sitting alone with cold pasta and colder fear. That night, Elena told Victor what happened. She's getting suspicious. I know. Victor handed her wine. Maybe we should cool off for a while. Is that what you want? What I want is irrelevant. What's smart? Fuck smart. Elena set down her glass hard enough to slosh wine. I'm tired of smart. I'm tired of careful. I'm tired of pretending this isn't real. Elena, do you love me? The question hung between them. Victor's jaw worked. Don't ask me that. Why not? Because you already know the answer. Say it anyway. Victor crossed to her, cupped her face in both hands. I love you. God help me, I love you more than my next breath. You're 19 years old and you've destroyed me completely. Elena's eyes burned. I love you too. We're going to hell. I don't care. They kissed like the world was ending. Maybe it was. Week 10 brought the first real disaster. Elena was leaving Victor's penthouse at noon when she ran into someone in the lobby, literally ran into her bag, spilled everywhere, papers scattering across marble. Sorry, I'm so... She looked up. Marco, Isabella's older brother. Victor's son. Time stopped. Marco's eyes went from Elena's face to the elevator she'd just exited, the penthouse elevator, the one that only went to one floor and back again. Understanding dawned slowly then all at once. Elena. His voice was flat. What are you doing here? Her mouth open. Nothing came out. This is Dad's building. Marco crouched, started gathering her papers. His private building. The one family doesn't even know about. Marco, I can explain. Can you... He stood, handed her the papers. Because I'm really interested in what explanation you have for being in my father's secret penthouse at noon on a Wednesday. Elena's hands trembled. It's not what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like. Marco stepped closer, voice dropping dangerously low. How long? Marco. How long? 10 weeks. He laughed sharp and bitter. Jesus Christ, does Bella know? No. She's going to be destroyed. I know. And you're doing it anyway. Yes. Marco stared at her like she was a stranger. I thought you actually cared about my sister. I do. Bullshit. If you cared about her, you wouldn't be fucking our father. The words hit like a slap. Elena flinched. I'm sorry. You will be. Marco headed for the door, then stopped. I'm not going to tell her, but not for you, for Bella. She worships you. Finding out like this would break her. He turned back, eyes cold. End it. Today, or I will. He left. Elena stood frozen in the lobby, her entire body shaking. She texted Victor immediately. Marco knows. The response came seconds later. I'll handle it. How? Trust me. But that night, when Elena arrived at the penthouse, Victor looked 10 years older. What did he say? She asked. That if I don't end this, he'll tell Isabella himself. Victor poured scotch, didn't offer her any. He gave us 24 hours. So what do? We end it. Elena's world tilted. What? Marco's right. This has gone too far. Isabella doesn't deserve this. You don't deserve this. Victor wouldn't meet her eyes. I'm ending it. You don't get to make that decision alone. Yes, I do. I'm the adult here. I should never have let this start. Let it? Elena's voice rose. You think you let this happen? This isn't something you allowed, Victor. We chose this together. You're 19. Stop using my age as a weapon. She grabbed his arm, forced him to look at her as a demeter. I chose you. Every day I keep choosing you. You don't get to take that away because it's hard. Elena, please. No, you said you loved me. Was that a lie? You know it wasn't. Then fight for this. Fight for us. Victor's control cracked. He kissed her desperately, backing her against the wall. This is going to destroy everything. He breathed against her mouth. I know. We can't win. I don't care. God, what have you done to me? They didn't end it. They should have, but they didn't. Saw it. Week 12, the point of no return. Isabella announced she was throwing herself a birthday party, a big one, at the Greenwich estate. Everyone was invited. It'll be amazing, Isabella gushed over coffee. Dad's going all out. Live band catering open bar. You have to come. Elena's stomach dropped. I don't know. Don't you dare bail on my birthday. Isabella grabbed her hand. Please, I need you there. You're my best friend. The guilt was suffocating. Of course I'll be there. Good. And bring a date. I want to finally meet this mysterious older guy. Elena nearly choked on her latte. He's not really the party type. Too bad. I'm invoking best friend privilege. If he matters to you, he matters to me. I want to meet him. There was no way out. Elena texted Victor the second Isabella left. She wants me to bring you to her party. That's not funny. I'm not joking. She wants to meet the guy I'm seeing. She doesn't know it's you. Obviously, we can't do that. So what do I tell her? Tell her he can't make it. She'll be suspicious. Let her be suspicious. Better than the alternative. But Isabella wouldn't let it go. She asked every day, is he coming? Tell me he's coming. I'm literally planning the seating chart around finally meeting him. The pressure built until Elena couldn't breathe. 2 days before the party, Victor called her. We need to tell her. Elena's heart stopped. What? Before the party, we sit Bella down, we tell her the truth. Let her process before there's an audience. She'll hate us. She'll hate us more if she finds out another way. Victor, I can't. Yes, you can. We both can. His voice was steady, resolved. This was always going to come out. Better we control Al. Elena closed her eyes. Okay. Let's tell her tomorrow, together. The next day, they met at a coffee shop in the village. Neutral ground. Victor looked like he hadn't slept. Elena felt nauseous. How do we do this? She whispered, carefully, honestly. Victor's hand covered hers on the table. We tell her we didn't plan it. We tell her we tried to stop. We tell her we love each other. She's going to scream. Probably. She's going to cry out. Definitely. She's going to hate me forever. Victor's grip tightened. No, she'll be angry, hurt, betrayed. But Bella loves you. Eventually she'll forgive you. And you, me, she might never forgive. But I made my choice, Bush. They sat in silence, holding hands, preparing for detonation. Isabella arrived 15 minutes late, bouncing with energy. Sorry, traffic was insane. She kissed Elena's cheek, hugged her father. So what's the emergency meeting about? Elena and Victor exchanged glances. Bella, sit down, Victor said quietly. Isabella's smile faded. Dad, you're scaring me. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong exactly, but there's something we need to tell you. Isabella looked between them. Confusion, then a flicker of something else. Wait, why are you both here together? Elena's throat closed. Bella, Victor started, but Isabella was already putting it together. Her eyes went wide, then wider. No! She stood up so fast her chair fell backward. No. Isabella, please. You, Isabella's voice cracked, staring at Elena. You and him. I'm sorry. How long, Bella? How long? People turned to stare. Isabella didn't care. How long have you been fucking my father? The words echoed through the coffee shop. Elena wanted to disappear. 12 weeks, Victor said quietly. Isabella laughed, high and hysterical. 12 weeks? You've been lying to me for 12 weeks. I wanted to tell you, but you didn't. Isabella's eyes were wild. You let me talk about my best friend while you were, God, I'm going to be sick. She ran for the bathroom. Elena started to follow, but Victor caught her arm. Give her a minute. She needs me. She needs space. They waited. Other customers whispered. The barista looked concerned. 5 minutes passed. 10. Finally, Isabella emerged. Her face was blotchy, eyes red, but she'd stopped crying. I'm leaving, she said flatly. Don't follow me. Don't call me. Don't contact me at all. Bella, please. Elena reached for her arm. Isabella jerked away. Don't touch me. You don't get to touch me ever again. Isabella. Victor stood. Be angry at me, but don't punish Elena. Don't defend her. Isabella's composure shattered again. Don't stand there and defend the person who stabbed me in the back. You want to fuck some teenager, fine. But it didn't have to be her. It didn't have to be my best friend. I love her. The words dropped like bombs. Isabella stared at her father. You love her? Yes. You love my 19-year-old best friend? Yes. Are you insane? Are you both insane? Isabella's laugh was broken. She's a child, Dad. She's my age. This is sick. I know how it looks. How it looks, it is sick. You're 52 years old. 48? I don't care. Isabella was screaming now, fully unhinged. You're my father. She's my best friend, and you two, she couldn't finish. Just stood there shaking with rage and hurt. Elena's tears finally came. Izzy, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. But you did it anyway. Isabella's voice went cold. You chose him over me, you both did. So congratulations. You have each other. I hope it was worth it. She walked out. Elena tried to follow, but Victor pulled her back. Let her go. I can fix this. No, you can't. Victor's eyes were sad. Not today. They sat back down in the ruined coffee shop, holding hands across the table, while Elena cried and Victor stared at nothing, and everything between them felt impossibly heavy. This was always how it was going to end. They just didn't know it was only the beginning. Elena didn't go back to her dorm that night. She couldn't face her roommate's questions, couldn't stomach the normalcy of textbooks and meal plans when her entire world had just imploded. Victor drove her to the Tribeca penthouse in silence, his hand gripping hers so tight it hurt. Inside, she finally fell apart. I lost her. Elena's voice broke on the words. I lost my best friend. Victor pulled her close, but his comfort felt hollow. They both knew what they'd done. They both knew the price. She'll come around eventually. Don't lie to me. Not now. Elena pulled away, wiping her face. She won't. You saw her face. That wasn't temporary anger. That was permanent damage. Victor poured scotch with shaking hands. So what do you want to do? I don't know. Do you regret it? Elena's laugh was bitter. Which part? Falling for you, weeing to her, watching her heart break in real time. Any of it. She wanted to say yes, wanted to rewind 12 weeks and make different choices. But looking at Victor, his eyes haunted his usual control, shattered she couldn't. No, I don't regret you, even though it cost you everything. Even though they didn't sleep, just held each other as the city lights blinked outside, as the night stretched into dawn, and as reality settled into their bones. Tomorrow, Isabella would tell people. Tomorrow, consequences would multiply. But tonight, they had each other. That was going to have to be enough. Morning brought the first text, not from Isabella. From Marco. You told her. Good. Now end it anyway. She doesn't need to watch this play out. Elena showed Victor the message. His jaw ticked. He's not wrong. Don't, Elena's voice hardened. Don't you dare suggest we end this now. Not after what it cost. Elena, we destroyed her trust for this. If we throw it away now, it was all for nothing. Victor studied her face. You're sure? Are you, Bashar? Instead of answering, he kissed her, desperate and claiming. Elena kissed back just as fiercely. They'd crossed the Rubicon. No turning back now. The next blow came at noon. Elena's phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Hello, Miss Reyes. This is Dean Patterson from Columbia. Elena's stomach dropped. Yes. We need you to come to my office immediately. There's been a serious allegation made against you. What kind of allegation? We'll discuss it in person. 2 o'clock. Don't be late. The line went dead. Elena stared at her phone. What happened? Victor asked. The dean wants to see me. Someone made an allegation. Victor's expression went dark. Bella. She wouldn't. Yes, she would. She's hurt. She's lashing out. He grabbed his keys. I'm coming with you. That'll make it worse. I don't care. At the dean's office, Elena sat alone in the waiting room while Victor paced outside. When she was finally called in, Dean Patterson's expression was granite. Miss Reyes, we've received information that you're engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a university donor. Elena's throat closed. I'm not dating anyone affiliated with the university. Victor DeLuca is on our board of trustees. He's donated millions to this institution. The dean leaned forward. And according to his daughter, you've been conducting an affair with him for months. That's my private life. Not when it involves a trustee, not when it creates conflicts of interest. Dean Patterson pulled out a file. Your scholarship was funded partially by the DeLuca Foundation. Do you see the problem? Elena's vision blurred. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know his foundation was involved. Ignorance isn't a defense. This creates the appearance of impropriety. Your scholarship is under review pending investigation. You can't do that. I need that scholarship. You should have thought of that before sleeping with a married board member. He's not married. He's divorced with children, one of whom is your classmate, your friend. The dean's disgust was palpable. Regardless of legality, this shows severe lack of judgment. We expect better from our scholarship recipients. Elena stood on shaking legs. Am I being expelled? Not yet, but your scholarship is frozen effective immediately. You have 2 weeks to pay this semester's tuition out of pocket or withdraw. $28,000. Elena's mother made $30,000 a year. She walked out in a daze. Victor took one look at her face and knew. What did they do? Froze my scholarship. I have 2 weeks to come up with $28,000. Victor pulled out his phone. I'll write a check. No. Elena grabbed his wrist. That'll prove their point. That I'm with you for money. Who cares what they think? I care. This is my education, Victor. My future. I won't let them turn me into some gold digger. Then what do you want me to do? Nothing. There's nothing you can do. Elena's voice cracked. Isabella took everything. My friend, my scholarship, my reputation. All of it. Victor pulled her close. We'll figure it out. But Elena wasn't sure they would. That evening, Elena's phone exploded with texts, not from Isabella, from other students. Someone had posted about the scandal on the university gossip page. The comments were vicious. Scholarship student sleeping her way to the top and literally fucked her friend's dad for money. This is what happens when you let poor people into Ivy League schools. Elena read them until her hands shook until Victor took her phone away. Don't do this to yourself. They think I'm a whore. They're children who don't know anything. They know enough, Elena laughed bitterly. They know I betrayed my best friend for her father. They know I'm losing my scholarship. They know I'm exactly what they always suspected, some poor girl who doesn't belong here. You belong anywhere you want to be. Do I? Because right now it feels like I belong nowhere. Victor had no answer for that. The next day brought another complication. Elena was leaving her sociology class when someone grabbed her arm. She spun around and came face to face with Carmela. We need to talk. I have nothing to say to you. Good, then you can listen. Carmela steered her into an empty classroom, closed the door. What you're doing to this family is unacceptable. I'm not doing anything to your family. You're sleeping with my brother. You've destroyed his relationship with his daughter. You've created a scandal that's affecting his business relationships. Carmela's eyes were ice. And now I hear you're playing victim because your scholarship got frozen. I am a victim. You're a 19-year-old girl who spread her legs for a powerful man and got exactly what she deserved. The slap came before Elena could think. Her palm connected with Carmela's cheek with a crack that echoed. Carmela touched her face, shocked. Then she smiled. There it is. The real you. Not the sweet scholarship student. The ghetto trash my brother's too stupid to see. Get away from me. Or what, you'll tell Victor. Carmela laughed. He already knows what I think. The whole family knows. We all warned him, but he's too pussy-whipped to listen. You're pathetic, Elena's voice shook with rage. You're so bitter about your own failed marriage that you can't stand seeing anyone else happy. Happy? Carmela's laugh was sharp. You think you're happy, sweetheart? You have no idea what you've gotten yourself into. My brother's world will eat you alive. I can handle it. Can you handle what happens when his business partners find out he's gone soft over some college girl, when his enemies see a weakness to exploit? Carmela leaned closer. You're not his equal, Elena. You're his liability. And in Victor's world, liabilities get eliminated. She left Elena standing alone, heart-racing doubt creeping in. That night, Elena confronted Victor. Your sister came to see me. Victor's expression darkened. What did she say? That I'm a liability, that your business partners will see me as weakness, that I'm going to get hurt. Carmela's bitter and vindictive. Is she wrong? Elena cut him off. About any of it. Victor's silence was answer enough. Tell me the truth. Does me being with you put me in danger? Everyone close to me is in danger. That's the nature of what I do. That's not an answer. Yes, Victor's voice was raw. Being with me makes you a target. My enemies will use you to get to me. My business associates will see you as exploitable. And if anything ever goes wrong, you'll be caught in the crossfire. Elena's legs felt weak. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have listened? I deserve to know. And I deserved not to lose you. Victor grabbed her shoulders. You're the first real thing I've had in 20 years. Do you know what that's like? Existing in a world where everything's transactional, where everyone wants something, where trust is currency and love is weakness. And then his voice broke. You looked at me like I was just a man, not a criminal, not a wallet, just a man. I couldn't let that go, even if it puts me at risk. Even then, I know it's selfish. I know it's wrong, but I can't. Victor's forehead pressed against hers. I can't be who I was before you. I can't go back to that emptiness. Elena's resolve wavered. Victor, stay with me, please. I'll protect you. I'll keep you safe. Just don't leave. She should have said no, should have recognized the manipulation, the desperation, the danger. Instead, she kissed him. I'm not leaving. Promise me. I promise. It was a promise she'd come to regret. The weekend of Isabella's birthday party arrived like a funeral march. Elena wasn't invited, obviously, but she couldn't stop thinking about it. About Isabella celebrating without her. About the friend-shaped hole in both their lives. Victor stayed with her instead of attending. They ordered takeout and pretended everything was fine. It wasn't. At midnight, Elena's phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. You took my father? Fine. But you don't get to take my peace too. Stop existing in my world or I'll make you disappear from it. Elena showed Victor. His expression went nuclear. That's a threat. It's Isabella being hurt. It's Isabella threatening you. Victor grabbed his phone. I'm calling her. Don't, please. Elena caught his hand. She's lashing out. Let her. She threatened you. And she has every right to hate me. I destroyed her trust, Victor. I broke her heart. If sending angry texts makes her feel better, let her send them. Victor looked like he wanted to argue, but he put down his phone. If she escalates, she won't. Elena was wrong. Monday morning, she walked into her dorm building to find her room ransacked. Clothes shredded, laptop smashed, books torn apart. On her mirror, written in red lipstick, homewrecker. Campus security came, filed a report, promised to investigate. Elena knew they wouldn't find anything. Isabella was too smart to leave evidence. Victor wanted to retaliate. I'll destroy her credit, lock her trust fund, make her understand, no. Elena's voice was steel. You don't get to punish your daughter for being hurt. She vandalized your room, and I slept with her father. We're not even... Elena's laugh was hysterical. Don't you get it? We're never going to be even. I took something from her she can't get back. Her trust in her best friend, her image of her father, her sense of safety in her own family. So what we just let her attack you. We let her grieve, however she needs to. But the attacks didn't stop. Over the next week, Elena found her tires slashed, her student ID deactivated, her name removed from group projects. Isabella had weaponized their entire social circle against her. The isolation was suffocating. Elena went to classes and came straight home. Ate alone, studied alone. Existed in a bubble where the only solid thing was Victor. It was exactly what Carmela had warned about. You're losing yourself, Elena's roommate said one night. Madison had stayed neutral in the drama, but even she looked concerned. You don't talk to anyone anymore. You just wait for him to text. That's not true. Elena, you haven't been to a party in a month. You quit the volunteer program. You barely leave this room except for class and to see him. Madison sat on her bed. I'm worried about you. I'm fine. You're not. You're isolating. And that guy Victor, he's all you have left. That's not healthy. You don't understand. I understand you gave up everything for him. Your friend, your scholarship, your whole social life. And now you're trapped because leaving him means you sacrificed it all for nothing. The words hit too close to home. Elena's throat tightened. I love him. Do you? Or do you just need him because you've lost everything else? Elena didn't have an answer. That weekend, Victor took her to a restaurant in the Hamptons, trying to cheer her up. It didn't work. Elena pushed food around her plate, too anxious to eat. Talk to me, Victor said quietly, about whatever's making you look like you're drowning. Elena set down her fork. Do you ever think we made a mistake? Victor's face shuddered. Do you? I don't know anymore. I thought love was supposed to feel good, but this just feels hard and sad and like I'm losing pieces of myself. Is this about Isabella? It's about everything. The scholarship, the isolation, the constant feeling that I don't belong in your world or mine anymore. Elena's eyes burned. I'm 19 years old, Victor. I should be at parties and football games and doing normal college things. Instead, I'm hiding in a penthouse with a man 30 years older who everyone thinks I'm gold digging. You knew what this was. Did I? Because I thought I was choosing love. But now it feels like I chose a prison. Victor's jaw clenched. Is that what I am to you, a prison? No, yes, I don't know. Elena's voice broke. I love you, but I'm not sure love is enough anymore. The silence that followed was deafening. Finally, Victor spoke. What do you want me to say? I want you to tell me it gets easier, that we'll figure it out, that choosing you wasn't the biggest mistake of my life. I can't promise that. Why not? Because I don't know if it's true. Victor's honesty was brutal. My world is complicated and dangerous, and you're right, you don't belong in it. You deserve simple. You deserve easy. You deserve someone your own age who can give you normal. But I want you, even if it destroys you. Elena's tears finally spilled over. I don't know. I really don't know anymore. They finished dinner in silence, drove back to the city without speaking. When they reached the penthouse, Elena didn't get out of the car. I need some time. Victor's knuckles went white on the steering wheel. How much time? I don't know, a few days, a week. I need to think without you in my ear telling me what to feel. Is this a breakup? No, maybe. I don't know. Elena's voice was small. I just need space to figure out who I am without you. Victor looked like she'd shot him. Okay. What else can I say? You need space, I'll give you space. He turned to face her. But Elena, if you walk away, really walk away, I won't come after you. I can't be the guy who chases you down and convinces you. You have to choose this. Choose me, knowing everything it costs. Elena nodded, throat too tight for words. She got out of the car and went inside her dorm alone. For the first time in 3 months, she slept without Victor's arms around her. It felt wrong, empty, like missing a limb, but it also felt necessary. The next morning, Elena woke to 17 missed calls from Victor. Her heart lurched. Something was wrong. She called back immediately. What happened? It's Nonna Rosa. Victor's voice was wrecked. She had a stroke. She's at Lenox Hill. It doesn't look good. Elena was dressed and out the door in minutes. She didn't think about space or breaks or figuring herself out. She just went. At the hospital, the DeLuca family filled the waiting room. Carmela glared when Elena walked in. Marco's expression was unreadable, and Isabella's eyes met hers across the room, red-rimmed, devastated. For a moment, Elena saw her best friend again, the girl who cried during sad movies, who called Elena at 3 a.m. when she couldn't sleep, who knew all her secrets. Then Isabella's expression hardened. She looked away. Elena found Victor in the hallway, slumped against the wall. She'd never seen him look so broken. How bad? Bad. The doctors say... His voice cracked. They say we should say goodbye. Elena pulled him into her arms. Victor collapsed against her, finally letting the mask fall. He shook with silent sobs, while Elena held him, stroking his hair, whispering meaningless comfort. I can't lose her, he whispered. She's the only one who knows all of me and loves me anyway. I know you. Not like she does. She knew me before the empire, before the blood, when I was just Vittorio from Brooklyn who wanted to make his mother proud. His grip tightened. If she dies, that version of me dies too. She's not going to die. But 3 hours later, Nonna Rosa coded. The family rushed to her room, everyone except Elena, who waited in the hallway, occluded even in crisis. She watched through the window as they surrounded the bed. Carmela holding Rose's hand, Marco on his phone probably calling other relatives. Isabella crying into her father's chest while Victor stroked her hair. The sight gutted Elena. That should be her with her best friend, supporting each other through grief. Instead, she was outside looking in the interloper who'd destroyed everything. 20 minutes later, a doctor emerged. His expression said everything. Elena watched Victor crumble, watched Isabella scream, watched a family fracture further under the weight of loss, and she realized with crystal clarity she didn't belong here. Not in this moment, not in this family, not in Victor's world. She was about to leave when Isabella burst into the hallway. You. Her voice was venomous. You have some fucking nerve showing up here. I'm sorry. Sorry, Isabella's laugh was unhinged. My grandmother just died and you're sorry. Bella, please. Don't call me that. You don't get to call me that anymore. Isabella's face twisted with grief and rage. This is your fault. All of it. How is this my fault? Because the stress, the scandal with you and Dad, it was killing her. She was so upset about what you two were doing, about how you'd torn this family apart. And now she's dead and you, Isabella's voice broke. You just keep taking things from me. The accusation was unfair, and they both knew it. But grief didn't care about fair. Victor appeared behind Isabella. Bella, that's enough. Don't defend her. Not now, not today. Isabella turned on her father. Choose Dad, right now, her or me, because if she stays, I'm done. With you, with this family, with everything. The ultimatum hung in the air like a blade. Victor looked between his daughter and Elena. Elena saw the moment he made his choice, saw it in his eyes before he spoke. Bella, forget it. Elena's voice was steady even as her heart shattered. I'll go. She walked away before either could respond, down the hallway into the elevator out of the hospital. She walked for blocks in the cold November air, numb to everything except the truth she'd been avoiding. This was never going to work, not really, not in any way that didn't destroy them all. Her phone buzzed. Victor calling. She let it ring. Texted instead. Isabella's right. This needs to end. I'm sorry. I love you. But we can't do this anymore. His response came immediately. Don't do this. Not today. Not like this. I have to. You know I have to. Elena, please, I'm sorry. She blocked his number before she could change her mind. That night, alone in her dorm room, Elena finally let herself fall apart. She cried for Isabella, for Nonna Rosa, for Victor, for herself, for the future they'd never have, and the past they could never undo. Madison held her while she sobbed, didn't ask questions, just let Elena break. I loved him, Elena whispered hours later, voice hoarse. I really loved him. I know, but it wasn't enough. It never is, Madison said softly, not when the foundation's built on betrayal. Elena knew she was right, but knowing didn't make it hurt less. 3 days after blocking Victor's number, Elena found an envelope slipped under her dorm door. No name, no return address. Just thick, expensive paper that screamed money. Inside was a check for $50,000 and a note in Victor's handwriting. For your tuition and whatever else you need. This isn't payment. It's not guilt money. It's making sure you don't lose your future because of me. Don't be stubborn. Cash it. V. Elena stared at the check until the numbers blurred. $50,000, more money than her mother made in 2 years. Enough to cover tuition and rent and food and books and everything she'd been terrified about losing. All she had to do was take it. She ripped the check in half, then quarters, then confetti. She let the pieces flutter into her trash can like snow. Madison walked in and stopped dead. Was that what I think it was? Depends what you think it was. A check with a lot of zeros. Then yes, Elena's hands shook, from Victor. Madison's eyes went wide. How much? Enough. And you just, Madison gestured at the trash. Elena, your scholarship. I'll figure it out. How? You have 10 days to come up with 30 grand. I said I'll figure it out. Elena's voice cracked. She took a breath. I'm sorry, I can't take his money. If I do, everyone was right about me. The gold digger, the opportunist, the girl who slept her way to a paycheck. Who cares what they think? I care. It's all I have left. My integrity. Elena laughed bitterly, which is hilarious because I slept with my best friend's father. But taking his money, that's the line I won't cross. Madison looked like she wanted to argue. Instead, she hugged Elena tight. You're either the bravest person I know or the stupidest. Probably both. That night, Elena lay awake calculating impossible math. She had $600 in her bank account. Her mother could maybe scrape together $2,000 if Elena begged. That left $26,000 she didn't have and no way to get it. She was going to have to withdraw from Columbia. The realization hit like a physical blow. All those years of straight A's, of scholarship applications, of dreaming about escaping poverty through education gone. Because she'd fallen in love with the wrong man. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Her heart jumped before she remembered she'd blocked Victor. The text was from Isabella. I heard about your scholarship. Good. You deserve to lose everything like I did. Elena's fingers hovered over the keyboard. 1,000 responses fought for space. Apologies, defenses, pleas for forgiveness. Instead, she typed 3 words. You're right, I do. She turned off her phone before Isabella could respond. The next morning, Elena went to the financial aid office to officially withdraw. The administrator, Miss Chen, looked sympathetic. I'm sorry to see you go, Miss Reyes. You're one of our strongest students. Not strong enough, apparently. Is there no way to resolve the situation? Family help, private loans? Elena shook her head. My family doesn't have money, and no bank will loan to a 19-year-old with no credit and no cosigner. Ms. Chen hesitated. There might be one option. It's unconventional. Hope flickered. What kind of option? We have an emergency fund for students in crisis. It's not widely advertised because the money is limited. But given your academic standing and the, she paused delicately, unusual circumstances of your scholarship freeze, you might qualify. How much? Up to $15,000 for the semester. You'd need to reapply each term. $15,000. Still short but survivable if Elena got a job, maybe 2 jobs. What do I need to do? Write an appeal letter, explain your situation, be honest about what happened and why you need help. Ms. Chen's expression softened. I'll advocate for you, but I can't promise anything. Elena spent the next 4 hours crafting the most humiliating letter of her life, admitting the affair, owning her mistakes, begging for a second chance. She read it so many times the words stopped making sense. Finally, she hit send. Then she went job hunting. By the end of the week, Elena had 2 positions. Mornings at a coffee shop near campus, evenings waitressing at an Italian restaurant in Little Italy. Between classes and work, she'd have maybe 4 hours a day for sleep and homework. It was unsustainable, but it was survival. Her first shift at the restaurant, Elena was tying her apron when she heard a familiar voice. You've got to be kidding me. She turned. Marco stood in the doorway looking incredulous. What are you doing here? Elena's heart sank. My family owns this place. Have for 30 years. Marco's laugh was sharp. Of course you'd end up working here. The universe has a sick sense of humor. I can leave. Don't. Marco's expression shifted to something like pity. You need the job. I get it. Just stay out of my way and I'll stay out of yours. He left before Elena could respond. She spent the entire shift jumping at shadows, terrified Victor would walk in. He didn't. But the anxiety stayed lodged in her chest like broken glass. 2 weeks later, the financial aid office called. Elena had been awarded $12,000 from the emergency fund. Combined with her savings, her mother's contribution, and her paychecks, she'd have just enough to stay enrolled. She cried in the bathroom for 20 minutes. Relief and exhaustion and bone-deep gratitude, they all tangled together. That night at the restaurant, Marco cornered her during her break. I heard you got the emergency fund. Elena stiffened. How did you? I sit on the student life committee. I advocated for you. At her shocked expression, Marco shrugged. Don't look so surprised. What you did to Bella was shit, but you don't deserve to lose your education over it. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just, Marco hesitated. He's miserable, you know, Dad, since you left. Elena's chest constricted. Marco, I'm not saying you should go back to him. You shouldn't, but I thought you should know. Marco's voice was quiet. I've never seen him like this. Not even when Mom left. He's not eating, not sleeping, just working himself to death like he can outrun the grief. That's not my problem anymore, isn't it? Marco's eyes were sad. You two destroyed each other. That doesn't just go away because you blocked his number. He walked away, leaving Elena trembling. That night, she unblocked Victor's number. Not to call him, just to see if he'd tried to reach her. 47 missed calls, 36 texts, the most recent from that morning. I know you don't want to hear from me. I know I need to give you space. But I need you to know I'm not sorry for any of it. Loving you was the most honest thing I've done in 20 years, even if it destroyed us both. Elena read the message until she had it memorized. Then she blocked him again. But the damage was done. Now she knew he was hurting. Now she couldn't stop thinking about him. Work became her escape. Between classes and 2 jobs, Elena had no time to think. No time to feel. She ran on caffeine and adrenaline and sheer stubbornness. Her grades started slipping. Not failing, but no longer perfect. Her professors noticed. Miss Reyes, can we talk? Professor Walsh caught her after sociology. I have to get to work. This will only take a minute. Walsh's expression was concerned. Your last 2 papers were well below your usual standard, and you fell asleep in class yesterday. What's going on? I'm working 2 jobs to pay tuition. I'm a little tired. A little, Walsh raised an eyebrow. Elena, you're one of the brightest students I've had in 15 years. But you're burning out. I can see it. I'm fine. You're not. And stubbornness isn't strength. Walsh softened. Whatever you're running from, it's going to catch up eventually. You can't outwork grief. Elena left before her professor could see her cry. But Walsh was right. The exhaustion was catching up. Elena started making mistakes. Dropped a tray of drinks at the restaurant. Gave customers wrong change at the coffee shop. Fell asleep during a lecture and woke to her phone buzzing with missed alarm. She was falling apart in slow motion. 1 month after leaving, Victor Elena was closing the restaurant when 3 men walked in. She knew immediately something was wrong. The way they moved, the dead look in their eyes. We're closed, she said, keeping her voice steady. We know. The leader was 40s, scarred face, expensive suit. We're looking for Victor DeLuca. Heard his son works here. Elena's blood went cold. Marco left hours ago. That's fine, you'll do. The man smiled without warmth. You're the girlfriend, the college girl he's been moping over. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't play stupid. Victor's been distracted for months, making sloppy decisions, all because of you. He stepped closer. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to call Victor. Tell him Anthony Russo wants to meet tonight alone. I can't. Yes, you can. Anthony pulled out a gun, casual, like showing his phone. Or we can do this the hard way. Elena's hands shook as she pulled out her phone, unblocked Victor's number. Called. He answered on the first ring. Elena, there are men here, at the restaurant. They have guns. They want you to meet someone named Anthony Russo. Her voice cracked. Victor, I'm scared. Put him on. Elena handed the phone to Anthony with trembling hands. Victor, good to hear your voice. Anthony's tone was pleasant, deadly. We need to discuss your recent lapses in judgment, the territory disputes you have been ignoring, the shipments that went missing, all because you're too busy crying over some teenager. Elena couldn't hear Victor's response, but Anthony's smile widened. That's what I thought. Pier 47, 1 hour. Come alone or your little girlfriend loses something important. Maybe a finger, maybe an eye, depends on my mood. He hung up, looked at Elena. Nothing personal, sweetheart, but Victor needs to remember what's important. And you, he tapped her cheek with the gun barrel. You're the perfect reminder. They zip-tied her hands, taped her mouth, threw her in the back of an SUV. Elena's mind screamed, but her body went numb with terror. This was it. This was how she died. Because she'd fallen in love with a criminal and forgotten that his world had teeth. At the pier, they dragged her into a warehouse. Empty except for scattered crates and too much space to run. Anthony shoved her into a chair. Victor will be here soon. Then we'll see how much you are really worth to him. Elena lost track of time. Could have been 20 minutes. Could have been 2 hours. Her wrists bled where the zip ties cut in. Her jaw ached from the tape. Terror sat heavy in her chest. Finally, footsteps. The warehouse door opened. Victor walked in, alone, hands visible. No weapons. Let her go. Not yet. Anthony circled Elena's chair. First we talk business. The territory on the docks, you're ceding it to me. That territory's been mine for 15 years. Was yours. Things change. Anthony's hand rested on Elena's shoulder. She flinched. Or we can negotiate another way. The girl for the docks. Your choice. Victor's eyes met Elena's. She saw rage, fear, calculation, and underneath it all, love, desperate, indestructible, and real. Fine, take the territory. Just like that, Anthony sounded surprised. Just like that. Victor's voice was flat. Give me the girl, and the docks are yours. See, that's the problem, Victor. You used to be ruthless. Now you're soft, choosing pussy over profit. Anthony pulled out his gun, pressed it to Elena's temple. This is what soft gets you. Elena closed her eyes. This was it. She was going to die in a warehouse because she'd loved the wrong man. The gunshot was deafening. But Elena didn't fall. Anthony did. Blood bloomed across his chest as he collapsed. Victor stood 10 feet away, smoking gun in hand that he'd pulled from God knows where. I said I came alone. I didn't say I came unarmed. The other two men raised their weapons. Victor fired twice. Both dropped. Then silence, broken only by Elena's muffled tone. Victor crossed to her, cut the zip ties pulled off the tape. Elena fell into his arms, shaking violently. You're okay. You're safe. I've got you. You killed them. Yes. Right in front of me. Yes. Victor's arms tightened. And I'd do it again. Anyone who touches you, anyone who threatens you, they die. That's not negotiable. Elena should have been horrified. Instead, she felt safe for the first time in a month. We need to leave. Victor pulled her to her feet. My people will clean this up, but we need to go now. He led her to his car, drove fast through empty streets. Elena stared at his hands on the wheel. The same hands that had just killed 3 men. The same hands that touched her with such tenderness. Where are we going? Somewhere safe. You can't go back to campus. Not tonight. Russo has associates. They'll come looking. This is insane. This is my life. This is what I tried to protect you from. Victor's jaw was tight. And now you're in it anyway. They ended up at the Tribeca penthouse. Elena's legs barely worked getting inside. Adrenaline crash hit hard and fast. She made it to the bathroom before throwing up. Victor held her hair, cleaned her face, carried her to bed like she weighed nothing. Sleep, I'll be right here. Don't leave me. Never. Elena crashed into unconsciousness. When she woke, sunlight streamed through windows. Victor sat in a chair by the bed watching her sleep. He looked like he'd aged 10 years overnight. How long was I out? 14 hours? You stayed the whole time. I said I wouldn't leave. Victor moved to the bed, gathered her close. Elena, I'm so sorry. This is my fault. If they'd hurt you, they didn't. But they could have, they would have, because of me. Peace. His voice broke. You were right to leave. You were right about everything. My world is poison, and it almost killed you. Elena pulled back to look at him. You saved me. I put you in danger in the first place. No, Anthony Russo put me in danger because he's a violent criminal. You're not responsible for other people's evil. I'm responsible for bringing you into a world where that evil could reach you. Victor, you should go. Back to school. Back to your life. Forget about me. Find some nice boy your age who can give you normal. His eyes were devastated. I love you too much to keep destroying you. Elena's heart cracked. And if I don't want normal, you should want it. But I don't. I want you. She cupped his face. I spent a month trying to forget you, trying to convince myself leaving was right. But last night, when I thought I was going to die, all I could think was that I wasted our last month apart. Over pride, over fear of what people think. Elena, you're not thinking clearly. I'm thinking clearer than I have in weeks. I love you. That hasn't changed. And yes, your world is dangerous. Yes, being with you comes with risks. But being without you, her voice broke. That's the worst risk of all. Victor kissed her like a drowning man finding air, desperate and claiming and tender all at once. If we do this, really do this, things change. I put protection on you, bodyguards, security. You don't go anywhere alone. Okay, you learn to shoot, to fight, to protect yourself. Okay, And when people threaten you, I eliminate them. No mercy, no hesitation. His eyes were hard. I will burn this city down before I let anyone hurt you again. I know. That doesn't scare you. Elena thought about it, really thought about it. It should, but it doesn't. Maybe that makes me broken. Maybe loving you has twisted something in me. But no, I'm not scared of you protecting me. I'm scared of a world where you don't. They stayed in bed all day, holding each other, relearning each other, rebuilding what they'd broken. That evening, reality intruded via phone call. Marco, Dad, we have a problem. Victor put him on speaker. What kind of problem? The kind where 3 bodies showed up at Pier 47 and every cop in the city wants to talk to you, and me, and anyone connected to the family. Marco's voice was tight. What the hell happened last night? Russo tried to leverage Elena. I handled it. Handled you killed him and his guys. Marco swore. Dad, this is bad. Russo was connected to the Albanians. They're going to want blood. Let them want. You can't go to war over a girl. Watch me. Victor's voice was ice. Anyone who comes after Elena dies. That's not a threat. It's a promise. Spread the word. Marco was quiet for a long moment. You've really lost it, haven't you? Probably. Bella's going to hear about this, about Elena being involved. It's going to make everything worse. I know. And you're doing it anyway. Yes, Marco sighed. For what it's worth, I get it. When you love someone, really love them, logic doesn't matter. Just be careful, both of you. He hung up. Elena stared at Victor. War, probably. Because of me. Because men like Russo think they can use the people I love as leverage. This isn't about you. It's about sending a message. Victor pulled her close. No one touches what's mine. The possessiveness should have bothered her. Instead, it felt like safety. That night, Victor's lawyers arrived. They coached Elena on what to say to police, how to position her kidnapping, what details to omit. Elena felt like an accomplice being trained to lie, because that's what she was now. An accomplice, a co-conspirator in Victor's criminal empire. The police came the next morning. 2 detectives, hard-eyed and skeptical. They asked about the restaurant, about Anthony Russo, about her relationship with Victor. Elena stuck to the script. She was working late. 3 men grabbed her. She didn't know why. Victor rescued her. She never saw what happened to her kidnappers. The detectives didn't believe her. But they couldn't prove otherwise. Miss Reyes, are you aware that Victor DeLuca is under investigation for racketeering and organized crime? No. You're in a relationship with a man you know nothing about. I know everything I need to know. And what's that? That he'd die before letting anyone hurt me. The detective's expression was disgusted. You're 19 years old and playing house with a mobster. This ends one way with you in prison or a body bag. Then I guess we'll see. After they left, Elena collapsed on the couch. Victor handed her scotch. You did good. I lied to the police. You protected yourself. There's a difference. Is there? Elena drained the glass. God, what am I becoming? Someone who survives. Victor sat beside her. This is what my life looks like, Elena. Lawyers and lays and constantly looking over your shoulder. If you can't handle it, stop giving me outs. I'm here. I chose this. I'm not running again. But that night alone, while Victor dealt with business calls, Elena wondered if she should run. If staying was strength or stupidity. If love was supposed to feel this much like drowning. Her phone buzzed. Text from Isabella. I heard what happened. That you almost died because of my father, and you're still with him. You're pathetic. Elena stared at the message. Once Isabella's words would have destroyed her. Now they just made her tired. She typed back. You're right, I probably am pathetic. But I'd rather be pathetic and alive than right and alone. I love him, Izzy. I know you can't understand that. I know you hate me for it. But it's the truth. Isabella's response was immediate. Then you deserve everything that's coming. Elena turned off her phone. She was done apologizing, done explaining, done trying to make people understand. She loved Victor. That was the truth. Everything else, the judgment, the danger, the impossible odds, she'd learn to live with or die trying. The bodyguard showed up at Elena's dorm the next morning. 6'4", 250 pounds of muscle named Dimitri, who spoke 3 words total and watched her like she might evaporate. "This is insane," Madison said, staring at the hulking man stationed outside their door. "You have a bodyguard now," Victor insisted. "Of course he did, because normal boyfriends send flowers. Yours sends armed security." Madison lowered her voice. "Elena, this is getting scary, like actually dangerous." "I know. Do you? Because from where I'm standing, you're a 19-year-old college student playing mob wife. That's not romantic, it's terrifying." "I didn't ask for your opinion." "Well, you're getting it anyway. You almost died 3 days ago. Doesn't that tell you something?" "It tells me Victor will protect me no matter what." Madison's expression was pitying. "It tells me you're in way over your head and too in love to see it." She left for class. Elena sat on her bed, hands shaking. Because Madison was right, this was insane, but walking away from Victor felt like cutting off a limb. Painful and permanent and wrong. Her phone rang. "Victor, how are you holding up?" "I have a bodyguard following me to sociology. I'm holding up great. Dimitri's the best, he'll keep you safe." "I don't need a bodyguard on campus, Victor. I need normal." "Normal got you kidnapped." His voice was hard. "Dimitri stays, non-negotiable." "You can't just make decisions for me." "I can when those decisions keep you alive. We're not arguing about this." Elena wanted to scream. "I hate this." "I know, but you'll hate being dead more." Victor's tone softened. "Come to the penthouse tonight. Please, I need to see you." Against her better judgment, Elena agreed. That afternoon, walking to class with Dimitri 3 steps behind Elena, felt every eye on campus tracking her. Whispers followed like shadows. By the time she reached the lecture hall, her skin crawled with unwanted attention. "Is it true you were kidnapped by the mob?" Elena turned. A girl from her sociology class stood there, phone recording. "No comment. But you're dating Victor DeLuca, right? The Mafia Boss?" "He's not." Elena stopped herself. Dimitri stepped between them. "Back off." The girl's eyes went wide. She scurried away, but Elena knew the damage was done. By tomorrow, the video would be everywhere. She was right. By evening, 3 different gossip sites had picked up the story. Columbia students mob romance turns deadly. 19-year-old caught in mafia war. DeLuca's teenage girlfriend survives kidnapping. The comments were vicious. Elena made the mistake of reading them. "She's going to end up dead or in witness protection within a year. Imagine throwing your life away for some old criminal. Her poor parents must be so ashamed." That last one hit hardest, because Elena hadn't told her mother. Couldn't bear to hear the disappointment in her voice. At the penthouse, Victor took one look at her face and knew. "You read the articles. And the comments, and the think pieces about how I'm single-handedly setting back feminism." Elena's laugh was brittle. "Apparently I'm either a victim who needs saving or a gold digger who deserves what I get. No in between. People are idiots. They're not wrong, though. I am 19 and dating a criminal. That's objectively a bad decision." Victor pulled her close. "Is it?" "Yes, obviously." Elena pressed her face into his chest. "But I keep making it anyway. We could stop. I could let you go, set you free. Stop offering me freedom I don't want." She tilted her head back to look at him. "I chose this. I choose you. Can we please stop relitigating that?" Victor kissed her instead of answering. They didn't make it to the bedroom. Later, tangled in sheets, reality crept back in. "The Albanians are making noise," Victor said quietly. "About Russo." Elena's stomach dropped. "What kind of noise?" "The kind that ends in retaliation. They're demanding compensation for his death. Money or blood. What are you going to do?" "Give them neither." Victor's jaw was set. "I won't pay for protecting what's mine, and I won't let them take blood from anyone in my organization." "So war?" "Probably." Elena sat up, pulling the sheet around herself. "Can't you just, I don't know, negotiate fine middle ground?" "There is no middle ground with men like this. You show weakness, and once you're dead within a month." Victor touched her face. "This is what I do, Elena. How I survive. I can't be soft just because you want me to." "I'm not asking you to be soft. I'm asking you not to die over pride. It's not pride, it's survival." His eyes were hard. "The second I let someone disrespect me and live, I'm done. Every enemy I've ever made will come crawling out thinking I've gone weak. and then we're both dead. The logic was cold and brutal, and probably correct. Elena hated it. So what, we just wait for them to come kill us? We prepare. We strike first if necessary, and we trust that I've survived this long for a reason. Victor pulled her back down. I won't let anything happen to you, I promise. But promises in Victor's world were written in blood and broken bones. Elena wasn't sure they meant anything. The next week passed in tense anticipation. Dmitri shadowed Elena everywhere. Victor disappeared for long stretches to handle business he wouldn't discuss. And Elena existed in a weird limbo between student and gangster's girlfriend. She was leaving the library when Isabella appeared out of nowhere. We need to talk. Elena's heart lurched. Dmitri stepped forward, but Elena waved him off. 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking. Isabella's eyes were red-rimmed, tired. Please. They sat on a bench outside. Dmitri watched from 20 feet away. You look terrible, Isabella said. Thanks, you too. A ghost of a smile flickered across Isabella's face, then died. I heard about the Albanians, about the war that's coming. Your dad told you. Marco did. He's worried. About Dad, about you, about all of it. Isabella picked at her nail polish. I'm still so angry at you, at both of you, but I don't want you to die, Elena. The admission hung between them. I don't want to die either. Then leave him. Come back to school, to your life. Let this insanity go. I can't. Why not? Isabella's voice rose. What is so special about my father that you are willing to die for him? I don't know how to explain it. Try. Elena took a breath. He sees me. Not the scholarship student or the poor girl from the Bronx. Just me. And when I'm with him, I feel whole, like all the broken pieces finally fit. She met Isabella's eyes. I know you can't understand that. I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Isabella was quiet for a long moment. I thought I was the one who saw you, your best friend, the person who knew all your secrets. You did. You do. But not anymore, because the biggest secret you have now is him. Isabella's voice cracked. You chose him over me, over our friendship, over everything we had. I didn't choose him over you. I chose him and lost you in the process. There's a difference. Is there? Isabella stood. Because from where I'm sitting, the result is the same. You're with him. I'm alone, and our friendship is dead. Izzy. Don't call me that. Don't act like we're still friends. We're not. Isabella's tears finally spilled over. We'll never be friends again. You made sure of that when you fucked my father. She walked away. Elena sat frozen in Dimitri's presence, the only thing keeping her from completely falling apart. That night at the penthouse, Elena told Victor what happened. She hates me. Really, truly hates me. She's hurt. There's a difference. Is there? Because her hate feels pretty real. Victor poured them both scotch. When my first wife left, Isabella was 7. For months, she wouldn't speak to me. Blamed me for driving her mother away. And she was right, I did drive her away. The life, the danger, the lies. Same things I'm putting you through now. What changed with Isabella? Time. And realizing that hate takes more energy than forgiveness. Victor's expression was so. But even now, there's distance between us. Some damage can't be fully repaired. So you're saying Izzy and I will never be okay again? I'm saying it might take years, maybe decades, maybe never. He pulled Elena close. And I'm sorry. That's the cost of loving me. Losing the people who can't understand. Elena wanted to cry, but she was too tired, too wrung out. She just sat in Victor's arms and felt the weight of all her choices. The attack came on a Thursday. Elena was walking to class, Dmitri beside her, when the black van screeched up. 4 men poured out, guns drawn. Get down! Dmitri shoved Elena behind a car as the bullets sprayed. Students screamed, glass shattered. Elena's ears rang from the gunfire. Dmitri returned fire, dropping 2 men. But more appeared. A bullet caught Dmitri's shoulder. He grunted, but stayed standing, kept shooting. Run, hun! He shouted at Elena. Get inside! Elena's legs wouldn't work. She was frozen, watching Dmitri bleed, watching students scatter, watching her world explode into violence. Then hands grabbed her, hauled her up. Marco appeared out of nowhere, dragging her toward a building. Move, goddammit! They crashed through doors as more gunfire erupted. Marco pulled Elena into a stairwell phone already at his ear. Dad, we're under attack. Campus. They came for Elena. Yeah, she's fine. Dimitri's hit, but still fighting okay. He hung up, looked at Elena with something between fury and fear. You okay? She nodded, too shocked for words. Good, because we need to move. They'll breach the building soon. Dimitri is doing his job, which is keeping you alive long enough for backup to arrive. Marco checked his own gun. Stay close, don't make a sound. They moved through the building like ghosts. Marco led her to a maintenance room, locked them inside. Your dad has backup coming. Already here, they'll sweep the area, eliminate the shooters, and extract us. Marco's voice was clinical, professional. This is what we do. This is it. This is our life. Welcome to it. They waited in tense silence. Gunfire echoed through campus. Sirens wailed. Elena's hands wouldn't stop shaking. Why did you help me? She finally asked. You hate that I'm with your dad. I don't hate it. I think it's stupid and dangerous and probably going to get you killed, but Marco met her eyes. You make him happy. First time in years, I've seen him actually happy. So yeah, I'll keep you alive. For him. Not for me. I don't know you well enough to die for you, but I know him well enough to bitch for his happiness. Marco's smile was grim. Fucked up logic, but that's family. 20 minutes later, Victor burst through the door. He pulled Elena into his arms so hard she couldn't breathe. You're okay. Thank God you're okay. Dimitri. Alive in surgery. He'll be fine. Victor pulled back, checking her for injuries. Did they hurt you? No, Marco got to me first. Victor turned to his son. Something passed between them. Understanding, gratitude, love. Thank you. Marco shrugged. She's family now, whether Bella accepts it or not. The words hit Elena like a punch. Family. She was family now. In Victor's world, that meant protection. But it also meant target. Campus was on lockdown for 2 days. 3 Albanian gunmen dead. 5 students injured in crossfire. National news covered it. Mob war comes to Colombia. Student caught in organized crime shooting. Elena's face was everywhere. Her name, her story, her impossible choice to love a man whose enemies tried to kill her in broad daylight. The university called her in. Dean Patterson looked exhausted. Miss Reyes, we can't have you on campus anymore. You're a danger to other students. I didn't ask to be attacked, but you chose to date a criminal. You chose this life, and now innocent people are getting hurt because of it. The dean's voice was firm. You're suspended indefinitely pending investigation. If it's determined you willingly endangered students, you'll be expelled. That's not fair. Fair 3 students are in the hospital because gunmen were targeting you. One lost an eye, another might never walk again. Dean Patterson's disgust was palpable. You want to play mob wife, fine, but not here. Not anymore. Elena left the office in a daze. Her entire life, education, future dreams crumbling because she'd fallen in love. Victor found her in the penthouse that night, staring at nothing. They suspended me. I know, my lawyers are already working on it. No, Elena's voice was flat. Let it go. Elena, I can't go back there. Even if we fight the suspension, even if I win, I can't walk around campus knowing students were hurt because of me. I can't sit in lectures with bodyguards and constant fear. I can't, her voice broke. I can't do it anymore. Victor knelt in front of her. So what do you want to do? I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. Elena's tears finally came. I wanted to be a sociologist. I wanted to help people. I wanted to make a difference. And now I'm the reason people are in the hospital. I'm the danger I was supposed to fight against. You're not the danger. The Albanians are because of you? Because I'm with you. She shoved him away. Don't you get it? Every bad thing that's happened is connected to you. The kidnapping, the shooting, my suspension, losing Isabella. All of it comes back to choosing you. Victor's face went carefully blank. So you regret it? I don't know, Elena screamed. I don't know if I regret it or if I'm just tired or if I'm having a breakdown. I don't know anything except that I'm 19 years old and people almost died because of me, and I can't breathe, and I can't think, and I can't. She hyperventilated. Victor pulled her close despite her struggles, held her until the panic attack subsided. I'm getting you help. I don't need help. Yes, you do. Therapy. Someone to talk to who isn't me or Madison or anyone involved in this mess. His voice was gentle but firm. You're traumatized, Elena. That's not weakness. That's being human. Elena wanted to argue, but he was right. She was falling apart at the seams. The therapist's name was Dr. Sarah Chen. Mid-40s kind eyes office that smelled like lavender. Elena sat on the couch and immediately started crying. I don't know how I got here. Where is here? In love with a criminal. Suspended from school, having panic attacks, hated by my best friend, living a life I don't recognize. Dr. Chen handed her tissues. Let's start at the beginning. When did you first meet Victor? Elena talked for an hour, spilling everything. The attraction, the affair, the betrayal, the violence, all of it. When she finished, Dr. Chen was quiet for a moment. Can I be direct with you, Elena? Please. You're exhibiting classic signs of trauma bonding. The intensity of your relationship, the cycle of danger and rescue, the isolation from support systems, these create powerful psychological attachments that feel like love, but might be something else. Elena's stomach twisted. You think I don't really love him? I think you're 19 and you've experienced more trauma in 4 months than most people face in a lifetime. And trauma does strange things to our brains. Makes us attached to the people who save us, even if they're also the ones putting us in danger. Victor didn't put me in danger. His enemies did. But you wouldn't have enemies if not for Victor. See the pattern Elena did. She didn't want to, but she did. So what I just leave, pretend the last 4 months didn't happen. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm asking you to examine whether you're choosing this life or being pulled into it by forces beyond your control. Dr. Chen leaned forward. Love should feel safe. Does this feel safe? Sometimes. And the other times, terrifying. That's your answer then. Elena left the session more confused than when she arrived. She went back to the penthouse, found Victor on the phone speaking rapid Italian. He ended the call when he saw her. How was it? She thinks I have trauma bonding, that I'm not actually in love with you, just psychologically attached because of repeated danger and rescue cycles. Victor's expression was unreadable. What do you think? I think she might be right. Elena's voice cracked, and that terrifies me more than the Albanians. Because if she's right, everything we've sacrificed was for nothing. Yeah. They stood in the expensive penthouse with its city views and luxury furnishings, two people who'd destroyed lives for something that might not even be real. I need time, Elena whispered. Real time. Away from you, away from all of this, to figure out what's real and what's trauma. Victor looked like she'd stabbed him. How much time? I don't know. Weeks, maybe months. And if you decide it's not real, if you decide I'm just some twisted coping mechanism, then I guess we both move on. I can't move on from you. You'll have to try. Elena grabbed her bag. I'm going to stay with my mom for a while in the Bronx. Don't come after me. Don't send bodyguards. Just let me figure this out. The Albanians are your problem, not mine, not anymore. She headed for the door. I'm sorry, Victor, but I need to save myself, even if that means losing you. She left before he could respond. Took the subway to her mother's apartment in the Bronx, the same cramped 2-bedroom she'd grown up in, now feeling like sanctuary. Her mother took one look at her and pulled her inside. Mija, what happened? Elena collapsed into her mother's arms and told her everything. When she finished, her mother was quiet for a long time. You love this man. I think so, but I don't trust my own feelings anymore. Then you did the right thing, coming home, getting space. Her mother stroked her hair like Elena was 5 again. Love that makes you doubt yourself isn't love. It's obsession. And obsession will kill you as sure as any bullet. Elena stayed in the Bronx for 3 weeks. No contact with Victor except one text letting him know she was safe. She helped her mother with her younger brothers, went to therapy twice a week, slept in her childhood bed, and tried to remember who she was before Victor DeLuca. It was harder than she expected, because the Elena from 4 months ago felt like a stranger. That girl had been naive and hopeful and believed love conquered all. This Elena knew better. Knew love could destroy as easily as it healed. On week 4, Isabella called. I heard you left him. Who told you? Marco. He's worried about you. Isabella's voice was careful. Are you okay? I don't know. Are you? No, I miss my best friend, even though I hate her. Isabella laughed weakly. Is that weird? No, I miss you too. They talked for 2 hours, didn't fix anything, didn't forgive anything, but it was a start. The call that changed everything came on week 5. Unknown number. Elena almost didn't answer. Hello, Anikateti. Elena Reyes, a woman's voice. Official. Yes. This is Detective Rodriguez, NYPD. I need you to come to the station immediately. We have information about Victor DeLuca that you need to hear. Elena's blood went cold. What kind of information? The kind that gets people killed. Please come in, for your own safety. Elena went, sat across from Detective Rodriguez in an interrogation room that smelled like old coffee and desperation. We've been building a case against Victor DeLuca for 18 months. Racketeering, money laundering, conspiracy to commit murder. We have wiretaps, financial records, witness testimony. We're close to indictment. Elena's heart pounded. Why are you telling me this? Because his enemies know about the case, and they know if Victor goes to prison, his organization becomes vulnerable. Easy pickings. Detective Rodriguez leaned forward. You're a loose end, Miss Reyes, a weakness. And in that world, weaknesses get eliminated. I'm not with him anymore. Doesn't matter. You know things. You've seen things. You're a liability, whether you're with him or not. The detective slid a card across the table. Witness protection, new identity, new life. You testify against DeLuca, help us put him away, and we keep you safe. Elena stared at the card, her way out, complete freedom, new identity, no more danger, no more Victor. All she had to do was betray him. I need to think about it. You have 72 hours. After that, we can't guarantee your safety. Elena left the station in a daze. She had 3 days to decide save herself and destroy Victor or stay silent and risk everything. She called Dr. Chen. They want me to testify against him. What do you want to do? I don't know. If I testify, he goes to prison. But I'm safe. If I don't, I'm a target forever. Those aren't your only options. Aren't they? You could testify and tell the truth that you don't actually know anything incriminating. You could refuse to cooperate and leave the city entirely. You could... Dr. Chen paused. There are more choices than the binary they're presenting. But they all end the same way. Either Victor's in my life or he's not. And which do you want? Elena closed her eyes. After 5 weeks apart, after therapy and space and clarity, she finally knew the answer. I want him. God help me, I still want him. Then that's your answer. Elena called Victor for the first time in 5 weeks. He answered on the first ring. Elena, just her name. But the way he said it, desperate, relieved, broken, told her everything she needed to know. The police want me to testify against you. Silence. I'm not going to do it. You should. Victor's voice was rough. Take the deal. Get out. Save yourself. I'm not going to do it, Elena repeated, because I love you, really love you, not trauma bonding or obsession or whatever else it might be. I love you, and I'm choosing you, again, fully aware of what it costs. Elena, I'm coming back, tonight, and we're figuring this out, together. Whatever comes next, prison, war, death, we face it together. Are you sure? No, but I'm doing it anyway. She hung up, packed her bag, told her mother she was leaving. You're going back to him. Yes. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. I can't watch you destroy yourself. Then don't watch. But this is my choice, my life. And I choose him. Elena left before her mother could argue. Took the subway back to Manhattan. Back to Victor. Back to a life that would probably kill her. But at least it would be her choice. She walked into the penthouse. Victor was standing by the window silhouetted against the city lights. He turned when he heard her. They stared at each other across the room. 5 weeks of separation. 5 weeks of doubt and fear and self-discovery. Elena crossed to him, took his face in her hands. I love you, I really do love you, and I'm done running. Victor kissed her like she was oxygen and he'd been drowning. I love you too, more than anything, more than my life. Then let's live. Whatever time we have left, let's really live. They made love on the living room floor, desperate and tender, two people choosing each other despite every reason not to. And for the first time in months, Elena felt at peace. She was exactly where she was supposed to be. Even if it killed her, the peace lasted exactly 12 hours. Elena woke to Victor's phone vibrating across the nightstand. 3 a.m. Nothing good ever came from 3 a.m. calls. Victor grabbed it, listened, his expression going dark. How many Jesus? Okay, I'm coming. He was dressed before Elena could sit up fully. What happened? The Albanians hit one of our warehouses, burned it to the ground. 3 of my guys are dead. Victor checked his gun, his movements mechanical. This is retaliation for me not paying them off. Victor, stay here. Lock the doors. Dimitri's outside. Don't leave this apartment for any reason. He kissed her hard. I mean it, Elena. Any reason. He was gone before she could argue. Elena sat alone in his dark penthouse listening to sirens wail across the city. 3 men dead because Victor killed Russo, because Russo tried to kidnap her. Everything connected back to her in an ugly chain of causation. She called Dr. Chen at 8 a.m. I went back to him. How do you feel about that? Terrified, but also certain. Does that make sense? Perfect sense. Love and fear aren't mutually exclusive. Dr. Chen's voice was gentle. The question is whether you can live with both. I don't have a choice. We have a choice, Elena, even if all the options are terrible. But Elena wasn't sure that was true anymore. Victor came back at noon looking 10 years older. Blood on his shirt, exhaustion carved into his face. Are you hurt? Not my blood. He stripped off the shirt, threw it in the trash. We hit back. 2 of their operations. Sent a message. How many dead? You don't want to know. How many, Victor? He met her eyes. 7. On their side. None on ours. Elena's stomach turned. 7 more bodies. 7 more families destroyed. All part of the endless cycle of violence that was Victor's life. This has to stop. It will. When they're all dead or too scared to come after us again. Victor poured scotch even though it was barely afternoon. This is how it works, Elena. You hit. They hit back. You hit harder. Eventually someone backs down or everyone's dead. That's insane. That's survival. No, that's murder. Over and over until Elena broke off, tears burning. When does it end? When I'm dead or they are? Those are the only 2 options. The finality in his voice terrified her, because he meant it. Victor would keep killing until he was killed, and Elena would watch it happen, complicit by proximity. I can't do this. Victor's expression shuddered. Then leave. I don't want to leave. I want you to stop. And I want world peace and a unicorn. We don't always get what we want. He drained his scotch. This is my life. You said you accepted it, so accept it or go. Don't give me ultimatums. I'm not. I'm giving you reality. This is who I am, what I do. If you can't handle it, I understand. But I won't apologize for keeping us alive. They stared at each other across the expensive penthouse, the chasm between them wider than ever. Finally, Elena spoke. I need air. She left before Victor could respond. Dimitri followed her to the street. She walked for blocks trying to outpace the screaming in her head. 7 dead, because of territory and pride and revenge. 7 people who woke up yesterday not knowing they'd die today. And Victor, her Victor, the man she loved, was responsible. Her phone rang. Isabella, we need to talk. Now. I can't. Dad's going to get himself killed, and you with him. Please, Elena, meet me. They met at a coffee shop in the village. Isabella looked as wrecked as Elena felt. Marco told me about the warehouse, about the retaliation. Isabella's hands shook around her cup. This is spiraling. Dad's not thinking clearly. He's making emotional decisions because of you. Because of me. He almost died last night. Walked into an ambush because he was so angry about the warehouse he didn't wait for backup. Marco had to pull him out. Isabella's eyes were fierce. He's never been reckless before, but now he's got something to lose you, and it's making him stupid. Elena's chest constricted. He didn't tell me. Of course he didn't. He doesn't want you to know he's falling apart. Isabella leaned forward. I still hate what you two did, but I don't want him dead, and he will die if this continues. So I'm asking you end it. Walk away. Give him a reason to be smart again instead of suicidal. He won't listen to me. He will, because you're the only thing he loves more than revenge. Isabella's voice broke. Please, Elena, save him from himself, even if it destroys you both. Elena left the coffee shop feeling like she was drowning. She went back to the penthouse, found Victor on the phone speaking in clipped Italian. When he hung up, she spoke. Isabella told me about last night, about the ambush. Victor's jaw ticked. She had no right. You almost died. But I didn't. This time, Elena crossed to him. What about next time or the time after that? How long until your luck runs out? As long as it needs to. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. Victor's control cracked. You want guarantees, safety, the future. I can't give you those. All I can give you is today. Maybe tomorrow. That's it. Then what are we doing? Why are we together if there's no future? Because today matters. Tomorrow matters. However long we get matters. He pulled her close. I love you. That's enough for me. If it's not enough for you, then his phone rang. Marco, Victor answered. What? When? Fuck. I'm on my way. He grabbed his gun. The Albanians took Carmela. They're holding her until I agree to meet their terms. Elena's blood froze. What terms? Me for her. Straight trade. They kill me, they let her go. You can't. She's my sister. Victor's voice was steel. I don't have a choice. Yes, you do. You call the police, you negotiate, you. By the time police get involved, she's dead. And negotiation is what got us here. He cupped Elena's face. I have to go. Then I'm coming with you. Absolutely not. You don't get to decide that. If you're walking into a death trap, I'm not sitting here waiting to find out if you survived. Elena grabbed her jacket. I'm coming. Don't argue. Victor looked like he wanted to fight. Instead, he nodded. They drove in tense silence. Dmitri and two other men followed in a second car. The meeting was at a warehouse in Red Hook, exactly the kind of place people went to die. Stay in the car, Victor said when they arrived. No matter what happens, promise me. I can't promise that. Elena, if they kill you, I'm not living through it, so don't ask me to promise I'll hide while you die. Victor kissed her, desperate and final, like goodbye. I love you. Don't say it like that, like it's over. Just in case. He touched her face one last time. Then he was gone, walking into the warehouse with his hands visible, no weapons. Elena watched through the windshield, heart in her throat. Dmitri stood beside the car, ready to pull her out if things went sideways. Through the warehouse window, she could see figures moving. Victor, 4 men she didn't recognize, and Carmela tied to a chair, face bloodied. Negotiations lasted 3 minutes. Then gunfire erupted. Elena screamed. Dmitri yanked the car door open. Stay down! But Elena saw Victor fall, saw blood, saw her entire world ending. She was out of the car before Dmitri could stop her, running toward the warehouse. Dmitri cursed, chasing her. Inside was chaos, bodies everywhere. Victor on the ground, blood spreading across his chest. Carmela screaming. And one Albanian still standing, gun aimed at Victor's head. Elena didn't think. She grabbed a fallen gun and fired. The Albanian dropped. Elena stood frozen, gun smoking in her shaking hands, staring at the man she just killed. Elena! Marco burst in with backup. He took in the scene, bodies, blood, Elena with a weapon. Jesus Christ. She couldn't speak, couldn't move, couldn't process that she'd just taken a life. Victor groaned, still alive. Elena dropped the gun and fell beside him. Don't you dare die. Don't you dare. Bossy, Victor wheezed. Blood bubbled at his lips. You shot him? I know. Good girl. Paramedics arrived, loaded Victor and Carmela into ambulances. Elena rode with Victor, holding his hand, watching him fade. Stay with me. Please stay with me. Trying. His grip weakened. Elena, if I don't... Shut up. You're not dying. But his eyes closed. Monitors screamed. Paramedics pushed Elena aside, working frantically. At the hospital, Elena sat in the waiting room covered in Victor's blood. Marco sat beside her. Carmela was in surgery. Victor was in surgery. And Elena was falling apart. You saved his life, Marco said quietly. I killed someone. You saved my father's life. That man would have executed him. I killed someone. Elena's voice broke. I pulled the trigger and ended a life, and I don't even feel bad. Is that wrong? Should I feel bad? You're in shock. Give it time. But Elena didn't feel shock. She felt clear, certain. She'd killed to protect Victor, and she'd do it again without hesitation. What did that make her? Surgery lasted 6 hours. When the doctor emerged, his expression was grave. Mr. DeLuca survived, but it was close. The bullet nicked his pulmonary artery. Another centimeter and he'd be dead. Elena couldn't breathe. Can I see him? He's sedated, but yes. In the ICU, Victor looked small and vulnerable, hooked to machines. Elena sat beside his bed and finally let herself cry. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep almost dying. I can't survive losing you. His eyes fluttered open. Elena, I'm here. I'm right here. You shot him. Victor's voice was barely a whisper. Killed him. I know. Are you okay? Elena laughed through tears. You almost died and you're asking if I'm okay. Always, his hand found hers. Weak but there. Love you. I love you too. So much it's killing me. Sorry. Don't be sorry. Just live. Please, just live. Victor slept. Elena stayed holding his hand, watching him breathe. Proof he was alive. Proof they'd survived. For now. The police came the next day. Detective Rodriguez looked unsurprised to find Elena there. Miss Reyes, we need to talk about what happened at the warehouse. I killed someone in self-defense. He was going to execute Victor. I shot him. That's not self-defense. That's defense of another. And given DeLuca's criminal activities, it's questionable whether... I don't care about technicalities. I saved his life. Arrest me if you want, but I'd do it again. Rodriguez studied her. You've changed. When we first talked, you were a scared college girl. Now you're something else. A killer, you can say it. I was going to say loyal. Dangerously so. Rodriguez sighed. There's going to be an investigation. The shooting, the warehouse, all of it. I'd suggest you get a lawyer. Victor has dozens. I'm sure he does. Rodriguez stood. Last chance, Miss Reyes. Witness protection. New life. You don't have to go down with him. Yes, I do, because I love him, and that means all of it. The good, the bad, and the murders I commit to keep him breathing. Rodriguez left, shaking her head. Victor woke up a few hours later, more alert. Detective come by. Yeah, I told her I'd do it again. Kill to protect you. You shouldn't have said that. Why, it's true. Elena leaned forward. I'm done pretending I'm not all in. I killed for you. I'd kill again. Whatever moral high ground I had, it's gone. So let's stop pretending I'm some innocent victim in your world. I'm complicit now, fully. Victor's eyes were sad. You shouldn't be. But I am, and I'm okay with it. That's what you need to understand. I'm okay with who I'm becoming if it means keeping you alive. Elena, I'm not done. She gripped his hand. When you're out of this hospital, we're leaving. New York, the business, all of it. We're disappearing. New identities. New life. Somewhere the Albanians can't find us. I can't just leave. Yes, you can. You hand control to Marco. He's ready. He's smart. And he doesn't have a death wish like you do. Elena's voice was fierce. I almost lost you yesterday. I'm not giving them another chance to finish the job. You're asking me to give up everything I built. I'm asking you to choose life. Choose us. Choose a future instead of revenge. Victor stared at her, at this woman who'd killed for him, who loved him despite everything, who was offering him something he'd never thought possible: escape. Okay. Okay, we'll go. New identities, new life, somewhere warm where nobody knows us. His grip tightened on her hand. But we do this right. Tie up loose ends. Make sure Marco's protected. Make sure you're protected. How long? 2 months, maybe 3. Then we disappear. Elena kissed him, gentle, full of hope and fear and desperate love. 2 months, I can do 2 months. But fate has always had other plans. Victor was released from the hospital a week later. Marco took over day-to-day operations. Victor started liquidating assets preparing to vanish, and Elena tried to imagine a life where they were just two people in love, not fugitives from a war. Isabella called 2 weeks into the transition. I heard Dad's getting out, that you two are leaving. How did you? Marco told me. He tells me everything now that we're talking again. Isabella's voice was strange, tight. I need to see you, both of you. There's something you need to know. They met at the Greenwich estate, the first time Elena had been back since everything imploded. It felt like visiting a past life. Isabella sat in the living room, hands clasped. Victor beside Elena on the couch, still moving carefully from his injuries. What's this about Bella? Isabella took a shaky breath. I'm pregnant. The words hung in the air like bombs. Jake's? Victor's voice was careful. No, we broke up months ago. Isabella's eyes filled with tears. It's God, this is so messed up. It's Marco's baby. Elena's jaw dropped. Marco, your brother, half-brother, and I know how it sounds, but we've been involved since before you and Dad. We kept it secret because obviously it's complicated and wrong, and Isabella broke down sobbing. I judged you so hard for being with Dad, and the whole time I was sleeping with our brother, I'm such a hypocrite. Victor looked like he'd been hit by a truck. How long? A year, since before college. We tried to stop, but Isabella looked at Marco, who appeared in the doorway. We couldn't. Jesus. Victor scrubbed his face. My daughter and my son. I know, it's sick, but we love each other. Really love each other. And now there's a baby, and Isabella's voice cracked. I had no right to judge you and Elena. No right at all. Elena started laughing, hysterical, inappropriate laughter that she couldn't stop. This family is completely insane. You're just figuring that out. Marco crossed to Isabella, pulled her close. We're telling everyone. No more hiding. The baby deserves better than secrets. The baby deserves parents who aren't related, Victor said flatly. Half-siblings aren't that closely related genetically. Just don't. Victor looked at Elena. Tell me this doesn't change your mind about us. Tell me we're not the craziest thing in this room right now. Elena wiped her eyes. We're definitely not the craziest thing. Not anymore. Isabella laughed through tears. I'm so sorry for everything I said, every horrible thing. You and Dad, at least you're not related. The bar is so low, Elena said, but she was smiling. Are we okay? Can we be okay? I don't know, but Isabella reached across the space between them. I'd like to try. Elena took her hand, and for the first time in months, it felt like maybe, just maybe, they could survive this. The next 6 weeks were chaos. Marco and Isabella's announcement sent shockwaves through the family. Carmela had a stroke from the stress. The Albanians made one more attempt on Victor's life that failed spectacularly. And Elena turned 20, marked the anniversary by getting fake IDs for their new life. Finally, everything was ready. Their last night in New York, Elena stood on the penthouse balcony looking at the city. You ready? Victor wrapped arms around her from behind. No, but I'm going anyway. We can still stay, face whatever comes. And die before I'm 25. No thanks. Elena turned in his arms. I want decades with you, not months, even if it means giving up everything else. I don't deserve you. Probably not, but you're stuck with me anyway. They left at dawn. Dimitri drove them to a private airfield. New names, new papers, new life, waiting in Costa Rica. At the plane, Elena looked back at the city one last time. No regrets, Victor asked. She thought about everything she'd lost. Colombia, her scholarship, her friendship with Isabella, rebuilt but different. Her innocence, her old life, her identity, and everything she'd gained. Love, purpose, a future against all odds. No regrets. They boarded the plane. As it lifted off, Elena watched New York shrink below. Somewhere down there, Isabella was pregnant with her half-brother's baby. Marco was running a criminal empire. Her mother was probably praying for her soul, and Elena was flying toward a new life with a man she'd killed for. A man who'd almost died for her. A man she loved more than breathing. It was insane. It was wrong. It was dangerous. It was hers. The plane broke through clouds into sunlight. Victor's hand found hers. What are you thinking? Elena smiled. That we're going to need a bigger story to tell our grandkids. Assuming we live that long. We will, because we survived everything else. The betrayal, the violence, the impossible odds. She leaned her head on his shoulder. We're survivors, Victor. That's what we do. Together. Always together. The plane flew south, carrying them toward unknown shores. Behind them, wreckage and wounds that would take years to heal. Ahead, possibility and danger and a love that had already cost them everything. Elena closed her eyes. She was 19 years old barely, and she'd destroyed her life for love. Lost her best friend, her education, her future. Killed a man, chosen a criminal over everything else, and she'd do it all again. Because love, real love, wasn't supposed to be easy. It wasn't supposed to be safe. It was supposed to consume you, challenge you, change you into someone you barely recognized. Victor kissed the top of her head. I love you. I know. I love you too. The plane flew on, two fugitives chasing a life that might kill them. But at least they were chasing it together. And in the end, that was all that mattered. Not the body count, or the broken relationships, or the impossible circumstances. Just two people who loved each other enough to burn the world down and build something new from the ashes. The sun climbed higher. The ocean sparkled below. And Elena Reyes, soon to be Elena Martinez, or whatever name they'd chosen, smiled. She'd fallen in love with her best friend's mafia father, and it had crushed her. But from the crushing came something stronger, something real, something worth every sacrifice. She opened her eyes, looked at Victor, this complicated, dangerous, beautiful man who'd shown her what it meant to love without limits. What happens now? Victor smiled. No, we live, really live, for however long we get. That's enough. With you, more than enough. The plane carried them toward tomorrow. Whatever it held, peace or chaos, safety or danger, they'd face it together. Because that's what love was, not the fairy tale, not the easy path, but the choice to keep choosing each other even when the whole world burned. Elena settled into Victor's arms and watched the world pass below. She was home. Finally, impossibly home. And nothing, not danger, not judgment, not the ghosts of who they used to be, could take that away.